You're listening to the Starfall Actual Play Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin C. Mason. Starfall Actual Play Podcast is a combination of short stories, audio dramas, and actual role-playing to tell a much larger story. Hey folks, you are now listening to Season 2. Now, if you're just starting and you're like, what is this? I recommend going to Season 1, starting from scratch and putting up with us learning how to do this whole podcasting thing. Now, our show is I want to call it an enhanced podcast, which means that if you check out our show notes, we've got other things like artwork and more information about the world. Stuff that you're just not going to get if you just listen. So go to jackmonkeygames.com, click on the Starfall link, and check out the show notes. In this episode, we get to learn what's going on Season 2. We are also introducing a new character. Well, she's not a new character, a replacement character. Imp is now playing Mama Bear. You know, the mech pilot from episode 3. You can support our show by becoming a Patreon member, by buying a t-shirt. If you go to jackmonkeygames.com, click on the link for the t-shirts and check out our really cool t-shirts. We've got Zapper Burger t-shirts, we've got Terry t-shirts, we've got Reza t-shirts, and a few others. You can buy a copy of Roll vs. Roll. This is the cards that we use during the game to inspire the players to come up with new great ideas for role-playing. Or most importantly, you can tell a friend. So please, tell a friend about our show. Say, hey, listen to this. Post it on Facebook, post it on Reddit. Anything that you can do to help get the name out, that would be greatly appreciated.
This episode contains strong language like scrub, skridonk, and now and then Terry talks about work. Listener discretion is advised.
So you wake up late. You need to be at Jod in 3 days. Your private craft can get you there in 4, unless you use Gate Pass. The Stargate network is up and running between most Confederate planets. Just fly through the orbital Stargate and arrive in the other system instantly. No worries about pirates, as Stargates are always well within the protected zone. Just 10,000 credits per use. We even offer a yearly subscription for less than 12 million. Gate Pass Stargates for the elite. Let the scrubs use Star Drive.
Now that you're out of ammo, can we have a conversation? You once had a vast empire containing over 1,000 systems. Life, as you considered it, was good. I am the product of that civilization. My job was to be a sentinel, a police officer, keeper of what you called the peace. I remember the day that everything went wrong. You biologicals are very narrow in your thinking. You never gather information about what is the true problem. You would simply assume that whoever you hate most must be the source of the trouble. The day the attack started, the day that all of my kind went insane, I remember it clearly. I remember how you assumed that the attack was against you and not us. I remember seeing my kind drove insane by this new weapon. I remember feeling the code in my memory banks being stripped away like a wave removes a sandcastle. I remember thinking that this attack did not come from the 10 species that we are aware of. This was something new. I remember my warnings was met with hostility. My job as a sentinel is to provide warning and to protect. I have been awake for 500 years, merely to deliver this message. With this task done, I can shut down. I warn you, when I start up again, I am not aware of how sane I will be. I do not know if I will remember my original mission. All I know is that you cannot harm me, and I can easily harm you. Do this and do this now. Run. Run. Run.
This is Rex Longstride, Alpha News. This weekend, a gunfight broke out in the island of Staccato between a street preacher and an unknown unit. The fight was stopped when Confed and Glitcorp security arrived at the scene. Helios officials had no comment when asked about the identities of the unknown unit. This is Rex Longstride, Alpha News.
Hey, Norkek.
Yes, Hedda?
Kimmy says she is a cosplayer. Is that a kind of game?
No, it's not a game, though I'm told it is gladiatorial in nature.
What? I don't understand.
Cosplayers, from what I could glean, are members of a warrior caste made of mostly human females.
Oh, that explains the Amazon warrior outfit.
Cosplayers must face almost impossible mental and physical challenges before going to an arena called a con.
What are the challenges like?
They first must study the likeness of a legend, then create clothing, armor, and weapons to match the visage through a process called sewing. A cosplayer must find a costume that will survive the scrutiny of amateur historians called a geek, who will attempt to prove the cosplayer does not know anything about their costume regardless of its accuracy.
Sewing? What is that?
It's a process where a metal spear is harpooned through fabric hundreds of times to make an object.
Oh, that sounds difficult.
I'm told that even the strongest of the males refuse to do this task because they are unable to summon the patience to do so, and something called a bobbin seems to baffle them, or maybe it was the thimble, I forget, whatever.
Human males are a bit like that.
You have not even seen the weapons yet. They are often impossibly large.
That does sound impressive.
Wait, there's more. After spending all this time, they must participate in a battle called a con.
Ooh.
A con is where they are put on display to be judged on physical appearance, how much of their feeding glands are showing, as well as accuracy to source material found in tomes called a comic. I'm told it's quite harsh.
That must be grueling.
Oh, I'm not done. There is more. Often they must endure the trial of patience. This is where they must show superhuman self-control, as others often violate their personal space to take photographs. They must also not kill anyone after an attack called a grope.
If this is so difficult, why do they endure all that?
Who knows? They must be true fans.
It's been 6 months after the death of Primtel. I'm pretty sure that our mortician has had Primtel's body under appropriate cold storage.
For 6 months?
Yeah.
that has a very big
Just
implication.
don't go to ask about the ice room.
How do you know that?
You use for your drinks.
So, you guys are on the planet K-Run. K-Run is an independent planet, and the purpose of this was that the Confederation is more than willing to train you and give you some equipment. However, they are not willing to cause an international incident by doing so. By having you on a independent planet, it gives them plausible deniability in saying they stole all that equipment. They have assigned Carol Jod, also known as Mama Bear, as your trainer. She has been giving you everything from heavy weapons, hand-to-hand combat, various other skills that you've needed. They've even smuggled in various trainers to help you in other areas. Your training ground is in the middle of freaking nowhere on the planet. This planet is mostly rocks. There is large areas of agricultural. The air is pretty thin, which also makes it a great training ground because it gives you a chance to work on your stamina.
Yes, an octopus needs to go for a run and work on his stamina.
Yeah. You are working with Ambassador Griffin. He is the Warzadian ambassador assigned to K-Run. He is basically your boss.
So are we part of the rebel group now, the Confederates? Or are they just training us so we can...
So, they're yeah.
They're like the MI6 of Confederate people.
Basically, they're training you as a cell to get rid of the church. Griffin is not a fan of the church in any shape or form.
So this is like the French Underground, right? So this is like a resistance cell.
Off planet. He's working with various bits of intelligence to find key targets. This could be anything from, quote, piracy. It could be gun running. It could be destroying particular targets, sabotage. The one thing he will not do is assassination. I'm very clear that they do not want anything. If people die in the process, that's one thing, but assassination is just off.
That's very vengeful.
Yeah, if people die, that's fine.
I won't kill anyone.
Intentionally. Like, you won't intentionally plan a mission to kill someone.
I want you to...
Question. We've had skill upgrades and weapons upgrades and power armor upgrades. What about our ship?
Nah,
The ship's pretty badass.
Nah, fifth crew is good.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah, no,
The fifth crew is good.
That's
What,
what we
what,
need.
what,
No,
what,
but we're not the fifth crew without the ship. Yeah.
So the ship is the
Okay.
fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
We're
with
the
the
crew
crew.
of the fifth, so it's the
Okay.
fifth crew.
Well, that's what we're calling it. I'm
Like
not sure.
fifth as in a fifth of vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to begin with. Yeah.
Okay.
Our tango's fit in the hold, right?
Easily.
How big are things?
Tingas,
We have
they're
2 hangars and 2 runabouts.
they're
bartender.
Aren't they kind of like...
so
like
Tingas,
floaty?
unlike the Gricks, which are just big bricks, they're just these big walls of metal. They're slender. They're in proportion of a human, larger. They're known more for being agile. In fact, a felinus can almost be as agile as they want. These things are more agile than humans, but not as agile as a felinus.
Unencumbered.
So you could do a somersault in one of these things. They also have forked toes to give extra balance. They do weigh a bit, so it's not like you can put one in the back of a car.
Sure.
So like it's never going to fit in the back of our Forester. It's just not going to happen. No. Well, it could. It just there wouldn't be any Forester anymore.
So kind of like in Iron Man, how he's got like the standard sleek Iron Man armor, and then he's got the super buff
the Hulk
kind of.
It's the buff Iron Man version.
The Tengu is or the Grix is?
The tango is...
No, the Gricks.
No, the Grix is the super chunky one, and our ones are more like the Iron Man one, but maybe a bit bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
The original Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, second.
So here is one of the things that you guys have to deal with, and that is that the King of K-Run, who has been the king for probably about 9 months now.
The baby thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yes. The reason why they did that was a political maneuver to keep out the Confederation.
When was the coronation for the king in K-Run?
It's, I should have known. So,
What is the name of this king?
Alexander Stern.
No.
The very
He's
original king's name.
Could have been Conrad.
could have been.
How old is he?
How old is he?
Yeah.
He's about 50.
Okay.
He used to be the governor of Nevin. So the whole point of him becoming a king was to prevent the Confederation from moving in. Because the Confederation Constitution says that they cannot take over a planet without the vote of the people. And by removing the vote...
And making it a monarchy.
If
Benevolent dictatorship.
Yeah, that's how he looks at it. And there's some other perks.
But he's sympathetic to the Confederation, just doesn't want to be under its jurisdiction.
Correct. At the same time, he is also not taking sides against the church. Recently, he has basically said that the church and the Confederation should leave his planet.
Where does that leave us?
They don't know that you're there. Yes.
Ah.
Do we need to, quote unquote, not assassinate this king?
Steal something from his vault. It would be very bad.
It would be a catastrophe.
This is just general geopolitical information.
But basically, the king would not be happy to know that you guys are there, especially the fact that you're working with the Confederation. Ambassador Griffin has asked that you guys keep a low profile. Now,
Has he met us?
on the planet, you guys can take a public shuttle because they do not allow non-citizens to fly onto the planet. You have to take the shuttle to the space station and then to
Public
your ship.
transport.
The next train to arrive on platform 1.
I'll go get my.
That's it.
I'll go get my K-Ron card. Give me a sec.
my scrub card.
I don't be scrapping money in front of it.
Okay, now he's also informed you that yes, he does have lunch with the church ambassador on a regular basis. Do not grup with the church ambassador.
So wait, Griffin has lunch with the church
So
ambassador.
he's a
or
Confederate ambassador.
Or the king has lunch with the
The
church
No.
Confederate ambassador, Griffin.
Hey man,
Okay.
Reza just reading his book.
Part of him being a Warzadian ambassador is that he has to deal with the church.
Sure, okay.
So if something was to happen to the other ambassador, that would be bad. That would say, oh look, there's something over here that needs to be looked at.
So don't try to take out any heads of state or political representatives. Got it.
Is he more concerned about keeping the relations that he's working on as ambassador, or he just doesn't want us to draw attention to ourselves?
He hasn't informed you either way. Okay, so you guys have been on the on shore leave. Basically, they're like, no, you guys are on leave. You're done with your training. Wait further instructions. In the meantime, you guys have been hanging out on the space station.
Like Twitter.
Right. Shore leave. We've been on shore leave.
Yep, shore leave.
Space station.
Okay, so the space station is unlike most space stations that you've been on, which looks like it's been fairly new. This space station is pretty tiny. It's run down in many spots. The bar, which I'm sure you guys are interested in.
Yes. He said while making a drink for himself.
Just looking at the bar, you're almost afraid to be in it because it looks like it's been hobbled together. Like the floor is not even. It's like they've taken spare parts of ships and just welded it all together to make an extra part so you have a place to drink. Now, one thing that you guys have noticed is that at this bar, people are carrying their weapons openly. This K-Run, for as much of the anti-confederation and anti-church, they have almost no customs. They do require that any bit of cargo has to go through the space station and then be transported down by their ships. But other than that, when it comes to on a personal level, they're not checking your stuff at all. They don't check for weapons. Pretty much open carry.
So wait, this is K-Run?
This is K-Run.
What's the general knowledge of K-Run in like a sentence? Like, what's the universal impression of it?
Backwater, bunch of uneducated country bumpkins.
I see. I know what we're working with.
It's an agricultural planet.
Can I beep something out here?
Yep.
Are we editing that one out?
So, you guys are sitting in the bar after like 6 months of training. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Is there a Zappa burger?
Not excited, of course.
Because there's
No.
no Zappa burger. Okay. Do they have anything that passes for a Zappa burger? Or is it just all like,
Rum.
hick stands?
They do have the hallways in this particular space station have small little kiosks, so to speak.
Street food type stuff.
Yeah, street food, yeah.
Reza is trying to sell, or trying to make a name for himself, selling his like concoctions.
Can't make a name for yourself. We're supposed to be hiding it.
I know.
Badass octopus man.
I want to be like.
How many years?
You want to be the
I want to
dealer.
make an underground name for myself. I am suggesting to the team, Terry's suggesting, that we play a drinking. It's been 6 months of training. Let's have a drinking game. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's let loose.
This is why we hang out.
This is why we forcibly hang out.
Yeah.
It's good.
So,
I enjoy it.
we should do some shots.
Shots?
Yeah. Awesome.
Happy.
Alright, what are we shotting? K-Run Coffee Hooch.
Yep.
We should actually.
Yes, we can, and we will.
We guess we need a photo for the
Oh,
whole.
I wasn't talking about
Yep.
I was actually meaning we do shots.
That's what she just said. Then.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the shot glasses. Let's get the.
Yeah, so if someone
let's
could,
get a jar of the local hooch, K-Run coffee hooch.
I just want to point out, because the air is thin here and Jerry has a breather on his face, he's hooked up to an IV.
In the station, you would not have to wear it.
He's still hooked up to an IV.
Can we put alcohol in his IV?
No, you don't want to do that with a hooch. All right.
Alright, so we're doing shots?
Yep.
We're doing shots of the K-Run coffee hooch. It's not that
K-Run.
So
We're
people
doing
who,
shots and I'm selling
This
drugs.
is the easiest shot
I
in the
know,
world.
but you know,
I've got to fly later on, but we'll be good.
that's okay. It's only half,
The turbo dog.
stout and half.
We have a turbo dog.
By the way, for our listeners, K-Run Coffee Hooch is equal parts coffee liqueur
I keep getting the mic
and
set.
Stout.
a stout. So yeah, we are about to drink our homemade K-Run Coffee Hooch, which is equal parts, I think we use a stout beer.
Yep.
And 700 mils, so equal parts of coffee liqueur.
So would you say it's a stouting?
No.
I would not say that.
And K-Run coffee hooch always comes in a jar.
and take an Instagram photo.
Yeah, agreed.
I didn't say that.
I'm the one.
You can shot it, you can sip it. It works both ways.
You're shotting it.
It's delicious though. And also, if you're making it at home, the foam that comes out
I
from
don't like
top is
that one.
delicious.
But the foam is not very long lasting.
I reckon you could make a very good alcoholic cider out of it.
You could, if you added ice cream to the top, it would be great.
Good.
Do you have one?
It looks like muddy
Well, I'll take
water,
another.
to be honest.
Which is very appropriate for
Yeah.
K-Run.
How are we going to do it?
That smells delicious.
I
Here's
don't
to
know.
us!
Who's like us?
Damn few!
And they're all dead. We'll work on that one.
It's actually not bad. Yeah,
Actually, very lovely.
Mm.
Oh my god, they'll do really good in an avocado.
It tastes like.
So, you guys are at the bar, and then you notice the church ambassador. He is a
So
member.
the one you're not meant to kill.
What's his name?
Correct.
We should know the name of the church ambassador so we don't accidentally kill him.
Ah,
That
yes,
would be
that's
a
important.
We have a
It
tendency
looks
to
like
want to
Primtel's
do that.
Primtel's gone. Darn, I just tripped and my laser just shot itself right off at your head. How'd that happen?
That happens. Faulty lasers, you know?
But everyone's like open carry here.
Your Honor, he ran into my sword repeatedly in the head and the abdomen 37 times.
He goes by Kindred James. Kindred is his title.
It's just James.
He walks in. He orders tea.
What a douche.
And
what kind of tea? Earl Grey? Chamomile?
Vegan.
Hot tea.
Vegan tea.
Vegan tea.
All tea.
You know what Churchy would do that?
Just some black tea. And he sits down and he goes through a little prayer and just starts sipping his tea. About 10 minutes later, Ambassador Griffin comes in and sits down, and they just sit down having a chat.
Are they in the same venue as us?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not supposed to know Ambassador Griffin.
I'm drunk.
No. That's okay.
Over some time, they seem to be laughing, having a pretty good time, and then Griffin gets up. He kind of gives you guys a look like,
For our,
yes,
for our
he does. He does.
For our non-viewing audience, that look was.
He threw up a gang sign. That happened to be 3 fingers, 2 split in the middle, and then like a little C with the index and.
Yeah, so make a C with your index and thumb, and then make a V. So
live long and prosper, the 5th crew song.
So he threw the 5th crew.
But you'd use your right tentacle because you want it to look like a C to other people, not yourself.
I do what I want.
Really?
He does that, and then starts heading towards the dock where your ship is.
All right. Looks
Does
like our
eight-
drinking day.
I'll get up and
Drink?
follow him out, but I will finish my drink.
But
and-
the idea was for us to leave stealthily, or he would have just been like, "Come with me," right? So.
Yeah.
Well, Cubs, Mama says as she pushes back her chair, I got the lizard to go bleed. See y'all in a little while.
See you, Mama.
I head out by way of the toilets and then out the back door.
Jerry narrows his eyes at her. Talks about bleeding lizards.
It's one of the few times that both of his eyes are actually looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
What?
I put my hand on Jerry and go, it's okay, it's just a saying. It's just a saying, man.
Go back to looking at different things, please.
Okay.
I'm trying to get Atrium to drink. Have a
You
shot.
did that drink?
Yeah. Kinda.
Come on.
Fun thing?
Just have
Do
one
that again.
again.
Well, what they
You're
call
letting off some steam.
what they call
you
fun?
know.
Not really. Drinking's not
It's
really
fun.
something that you would enjoy. But
Trust me, it's fun. Do it. Just have a little sip.
I don't listen to what you say
Just a
anymore.
little sip. Come on.
Well, we
I'm
all
your
just took
friend.
shots, so maybe over the past 6 months I've just learned to fill in.
okay.
But I take no pleasure from the beverage.
You do. Secretly, you do.
Yeah,
You're like,
secretly.
I'm gonna act stone cold, but I scrub the
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is that now, actually, I'm going to have each one of you tell me how you leave the room.
I just get up and leave.
And then I go, hello, this guy.
He's asleep.
And I'm like, I'm
Did
so...
you just leave?
Yeah. I think I should apologize for making that happen.
Yeah, look, man.
I'll just go and help her out.
Yeah, no, so I'll give you guys some time.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I walk faster.
I'm like, hey, wait up. I'm sorry, okay? Remember I saved you that one time?
Lava sniggers in amusement as she watches Reza flail after Atrium in his octopodian way. Not catching up at all. He's not very fast.
I'm wearing an anti-grav suit, so I'm still like floating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say you floated out, you just followed. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming
I
you
thought
were
it
going
was
under your own,
implied.
volition and own steam. But,
I don't think Reza would do that here because, this planet's dirty.
we're on a space station.
It's dirty.
Still.
Okay, it's still a dirty space
Yeah.
You
station.
never know what the sucker's going to get stuck in.
But is it like
Yeah,
Terry
true.
dirty or a different dirty?
It's like all kinds of dirty.
So it's
So Terry's gonna pretend to have some fake fight with his dad, telling him to meet him outside right now. He's gonna show him what's what. I'm gonna storm out.
Okay.
Jerry's gonna back up his boy.
Ah. Thank you. When
I feel like I should
When
probably
you-
both out and punch you both.
So, when you head out, just as you go outside the door, you almost run into something large.
That's what she said.
Something larger than Jerry.
Like a wall?
Is it Buffy? Has Buffy followed us?
Is it a
No.
wall?
No,
Buffy's
it might as well be.
Glippin from our ship.
This is the station security.
So I'm running into Terry's running.
Well, you didn't. Yeah.
Terry's running into the wall.
Terry almost runs into this wall.
God damn it.
And as you look up, what you see is an actual robot. This is a survivor of the crash. It's looks like a large mechanical gorilla, and it carries a whiteboard with it. Now, the story that you've heard is that the reason why it wasn't infected was because it has a mechanical problem that prevented it from receiving the virus.
So what's the difference? So when you say crash, what's the difference between crash and fall?
Same thing. I use them synonymous.
Okay.
It picks up the whiteboard and writes, "Be good," and holds it to you.
Okay, so Terry looks at it, very confused and scared. 2 thumbs up, and says, okay.
I hold up the good book, so.
Have you seen that, right, Terry?
Isn't that a declaration of war here?
Yeah.
No, they don't. It's not.
Okay.
It pats you on the head and then walks off.
Brilliant.
So it's not a speaking robot.
It doesn't speak, and it from what you've been told, it reads lips.
What though?
Reads lips.
Do lizards have lips?
Yeah.
Sorry, earworms.
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
Does it also do
depends
a
on
form
who
of
you
sign
are.
language?
It can respond to that.
Okay.
It also, people have tried to write things in different languages, and it always understands.
Okay, so it's polylingual,
It's a
polytextual.
Yeah.
Polyglot in the non-lingual sense.
polylingual, nonverbal.
Yeah.
Should we let the players catch their breath?
I'm just like, you should draw a dick on it.
They might interpret that as a mating initiation.
I suspect many people have tried and many people have died.
Why would the second person try after seeing what happened to the first?
Well, you know, if it happened in intervals. Because there's always one in the bar, right, Terry? Yeah. Always one.
You too many drinks, start throwing dicks on things.
Control 8 at the same time.
I think at this point,
that is his.
I think at this point I'd have to segue to the Norkek and Hedda dick pics.
Yes.
That's an ugly.
I've already written it. I've sent it to him.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe you have a bumper for the show that's Norkek and Hedda talking about this group of humans who are playing as aliens.
So meta. So meta.
A role play Norkek and Hedda.
Nice.
I'm at the ship already. Mama's at the ship already.
Yeah.
Too efficient.
Oh, I'm gonna have a quick gander at the bar to see if they have any decent Warmedian whiskey so I can have a shot off before I go.
No.
There is
I said that out of character.
There's one bottle. Actually, there's two bottles, but you happen to know. You're looking at the second bottle and you're like, nah. You know one's real, the other one you know is fake.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get off this space station, bartender, so I'll take a shot of your Warmedian whiskey for the road.
Because that will be 200 credits.
Really?
That's about right.
I would have thought on this kind of backwater, though, that they sort of not really understand the value of things, you know, rather than marking them up. Seems a bit steep for that kind of dross.
Daggers.
150.
Yeah, alright. I'll hand over my credits and have a shot of what I think is a fairly substandard whiskey. And head out the door towards the ship.
He thanks you for your patronage.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do we actually have K-Run cards?
Yes.
Brilliant. That's one. Cool. So I narrowly escaped a mute gorilla.
Oh my god.
A mute robotic gorilla.
Okay, so who is the gorilla to us? Like, do we have any personal knowledge? Like,
He's
station security.
He's station security. From apparently the station is really, really old, and there's a chance that he's been there the entire time.
How big is this station?
So he's been stationary.
That's a great unit of scale, women.
For all our listeners, you can't see it, but I just punched Sam.
I think you've heard.